Hello, learners. Welcome to Black Slides Online Secondary School YouTube channel. This is a platform where you are free, you have the privilege to learn the sciences entirely for free at no cost. Probably the only cost you'll have to shoulder is to buy yourself internet data or internet bundle, and maybe there is time that you have set aside to learn. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing, commenting, and also liking the videos. Or you are free to share the videos to your friends who are also learning, preparing for the 2026 Msce exams. We'll be happy to have as many of you as possible joining us to learn. In case you have questions, don't hesitate to contact us on the numbers shown here. We'll be glad to attend to you. This is lesson number 2 of the topic, tropisms, and we would like to delve into phototropism in detail. So today's lesson will focus primarily on the phototropism. Without further ado, let us define the term phototropism. Phototropism is defined as the growth movement of part of the plant in response to unidirectional light. Unidirectional simply means light coming from one direction. Un means one. So unidirectional means one direction. So light coming from one direction of the plant. Okay. So a plant is going to execute a response, a growth response towards the light. Okay, so such a response is called phototropism. During the process, um, when the light falls on a plant, there are going to be two growths. Two growths will be manifested by the plant. All right. There will be growth of the plant shoots and the growth of the plant roots. The plant shoots, which includes stem, leaves, buds, flowers, and the other parts, these are going to grow towards light, in the direction of light. Okay, while the roots will grow into the ground away from the direction of light. So growth response towards the direction of light is called positive phototropism. For that reason, plant shoots are said to be positively phototropic, meaning they grow towards the direction of light, and plant roots are said to be negatively phototropic, implying that they grow away from the direction of light. So there are two types of phototropism there, namely positive and negative. Positive is when the plant shoots, only shoots. Shoots include stems, leaves, buds, and anything that is stemming from the stem. You see, they are going to grow towards what? Towards light. Therefore, it is called the positive phototropism. Roots, on the other hand, will grow away from the from the direction of light. They'll grow into the ground. Therefore, the fact that the roots are growing away from the direction of light, it is called negative phototropism. Negative phototropism. So there are times when you will be required to make short notes or to describe the process of phototropism, especially with respect to the plant shoot, the stem, the leaves, the buds, and the flowers. All right. All right. So during the process, the shoot apex detects a light stimulus. Remember that a stimulus is just a change in the organism's environment. Okay. So light is one of the stimuli, okay? So when the light falls on a plant, especially on the apex of the shoot. Apex is just the tip of the plant, okay? So the shoot apex will detect that light, okay? Why it is able to detect the shoot of the, it is able to detect the light stimulus, while the apex has the ability to detect the light stimulus is because shoot apex or shoots in general have special cells, okay, which are photosensitive. They are very sensitive to light. Therefore, when the light falls on them, they are going to detect that light. So as a result, the shoot is exposed when the shoot is exposed to a light coming from one direction, which is unilateral source of light, it will cause hormones, which are called auxins, to be produced at the shoot apex. Right, so once the hormones are produced, they are going to migrate, or they are going to move to a part of the plant which is not receiving light. We call that the shaded side. So take note of this. We are saying the shoot tip detects a light stimulus, and when a shoot apex is exposed to a unilateral source of light, it will cause auxins. Auxins are just hormones. You're going to learn about this in detail. They are produced at the shoot apex, at the tip, and they migrate to the shaded side. The shaded side is the dark side of the plant, the side which is not receiving light. All right, so consider this. We have light here falling on the shoot, okay, on the tip. This is the tip. So the cells here, once exposed to light, are going to produce auxins. They're going to produce auxins, which are the chemicals, which will go down. They will go down and they get distributed equally, okay? Especially, this happens especially if the shoot is receiving equal distribution of light. So the light that is incident on the shoot will activate the cells to start producing hormones, which are auxins. And these are going to spread throughout the shoot equally. But if the light is falling only on one side of the plant, let's say this side here, the hormones, the cells will also be activated in a like manner and start producing hormones. The hormones will actually migrate. As we said here, they will migrate to the region which is not receiving light. So this side here is not receiving light, as this side is. As a result, the hormones, the auxins, are going to migrate, to move from this region which is receiving light to the region which is not receiving light. So when the hormones get there, this end here, when the auxins get here, they're going to activate the plant cells to grow faster. So the cells are going to grow faster. The plant cells will grow faster this end, causing the plant, the shoot, the entire shoot, this end to grow only on one side, to grow faster this side than it would grow fast this side. This side, remember, has fewer auxins compared to this side. So the many auxins that are found in this side will cause the plant shoot to grow faster only on one side. And the result is that it is going to cause the plant to bend. It will bend towards the source of light, which is what we call phototropism. All right. So the auxins will correct only on the shaded side. The shaded side is the side which is not receiving light, it's the dark side, this side here. Okay. So this side, as a result, is going to grow faster than the side which is receiving light. As a result, it is going to cause the plant to bend towards the direction of light. So the higher concentration of auxins on the shaded side, which is this side here, causes faster growth. It will cause faster growth than on the illuminated side. Illuminated side is the side which is receiving light, this end here. Okay, so the shoot is going to curve towards the source of light. It's going to bend. So it is this bending in the direction of light which is called the phototropism or positive phototropism. So we are saying that this description is answering a question which says, describe the process of phototropism of a plant shoot. So sometimes they may say with the aid of well-labeled diagrams. So you draw these diagrams and issue the description. All right, so why is the phototropism important? In other words, why should plants grow towards a source of light? Okay, there are two major reasons which I would like to share with you, and make sure you master both reasons why phototropism is important. Okay, in an exam, they may just ask you for one importance, but make sure you know both of them in case they ask you for both. So we just mentioned that during phototropism, especially positive phototropism, the shoot grows towards light, hence the leaves are able to carry out photosynthesis. You remember that photosynthesis is a process by which plants make their own food using light and by combining carbon dioxide and water. Okay, for that process to occur, there must be a source of energy. In this case, the source of energy is sunlight. So what the sunlight does is to split water into oxygen and hydrogen ions in a process called photolysis. That means in the absence of light, the process of photosynthesis cannot occur. So one importance of phototropism is the fact that light, the plants migrate or grow towards light, where they trap light to use it for making food or for photosynthesis. So make sure you master this. Another use of or importance of phototropism is that, especially when you're looking at roots growing away from the light stimulus, roots grow away from light into the ground, from which water and mineral salts are absorbed and also provide support. So in other words, what we are saying is that it will cause roots to grow into the ground in order to absorb water and mineral salts. So these are the key importance of phototropism. Should you be asked in an exam, make sure you know both of them so that you can pick any one of them if an exam requires you to simply say one importance of phototropism. You'll be required to, in paper 2 especially, you'll be required to describe an experiment that could be done to show the effect of unidirectional light on the growth of plant shoot. In other words, you'll be required to show that plants respond to light stimulus, okay, or grow towards light, okay. This is an experiment that could be done. So describe an experiment to show the effect of light on the growth of plant shoot, okay. Remember, shoot, by shoot we mean stem, leaves, flowers, and any other growing bud, and these grow above the ground. All right, that's very important. Okay, so first you start with materials that you're going to use. So you need potted plants or potted seedlings. You need 2 boxes which do not permit light to enter. We call them opaque. All right, you also need a special device which is called a crinoster and a razor blade. Okay, so these are the materials. In an exam, when you mention all the materials correctly, you have 2 marks for yourself. All right, so going forward, you cut a small hole on one side of 2 opaque boxes using a razor blade. So just make 2 openings on one side. Okay, small enough to allow light to enter. And then you place a potted seedling in box A and fix another potted seedling on a clinoster and put it in the second box B. So you have two boxes there. You have one box where there's clinoster, that's B, and there's another box where there's a plant without clinoster. Okay, that's labeled A. And then you place both boxes in light and start the clinoster to rotate the plant in box B. Remember that box B contains a plant which is fixed on the clinoster to rotate. Okay, to rotate. The idea for making it rotate is simply to expose it to expose the entire plant to light to enable all parts of the plant to receive light. In the plant B, in plant A, there is no clinoster, therefore light is only falling on one side of the plant. Then you leave the apparatus, the setup for 3 to 4 days in order to develop significant results. Okay, very important there. So make sure you outline your work like this in an exam. Remember that you don't use numbering or letters when answering a question in paper 2, especially a descriptive experiment. You simply use bullets. You just use bullets when presenting your work. Okay, of course, some examiners would argue to say no need for bullets, just write the paragraphs as they are. The layout differs from physics, chemistry, and biology restricted essays, but there's no offense, a penalty that is attached to candidates who present their work with bullets. Even if you use letters, they will not really penalize you, but it is advisable to use the bullets. Bullets are more preferred because by indicating bullets, you are actually informing the examiner that this is where you have your key points. All right, then you make observations. So it will be observed that the seedling in box A bent. So here you see the plant has bent in response to the light. It's following the light. Biologically speaking, when light falls on this part here, it's going to produce the cells in this region will produce oxygens which are going to migrate down to the side which is not receiving light. As a result, this part is going to grow faster than the side which is receiving light, thereby pushing this towards the direction of light. So the plant is going to bend towards the direction of light, which is phototropism. So we are saying what will be observed is that the seedling in box A here is bent towards the direction of light, while that of B continues to grow in an upright manner. So why the plant in B is growing in an upright manner, it's because as it is rotating, remember this plant is rotating, all the parts of the plant are receiving light equally, and as a result, they are going to produce oxygens also equally. And in effect, the entire plant is going to grow equally as well. So it will not bend towards this direction. For a plant to bend, only one side must receive light so that oxygens migrate to the part which is not receiving light, and that will cause it to grow. And the growth is going to cause it to bend towards light, which is called positive phototropism. Very important to note. So it can be concluded, therefore, that the shoot responds positively towards light. So in this case, in A, the shoot is actually responding positively, it's bending towards light as the result of an equal distribution of oxygens. The oxygens in this region are making this part to grow faster than this region here. As a result, the plant is going to bend towards light, which is called phototropism. All right, so the explanation as to this is happening is that Light coming from one direction in box A here made the stationary shoot. So this shoot is not rotating as in B to bend towards the direction of light. Okay, very important. So the shoot in B here was rotating on acronostar, hence all of its sides received equal amounts of light, and as a result, there's no effect on growth. Okay, so this is the experiment that you would carry out to show the plant growth towards light. Notice that setup B is acting as an experimental control. All right, so thank you very much for being there, for paying attention, and it has been a pleasure for me to present this lesson to you in a manner that I've done. And once again, if you are new to the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe. Subscribe and also invite your friends who are not here at the moment. Invite them to join us so that they can also learn and prepare themselves for the exams that are coming in, um, in 2026. Before I go, I have a question for you here. All right. An experiment was set up as shown. So this is an experiment that was set up in the figure on the right. To investigate, the figure is down here, it's not on the right. To investigate the effect of light on the growth of a cryoptile plant. Explain the response of plant shoots A here and B after exposure to light for 6 hours. Okay, mind you, this is covered so that light does not reach the cells, okay, or is reflected. The aluminum foil usually is shiny, so it will prevent light from reaching the plant, okay. And here, light is received on one side, okay. So explain the response of plants shoot A. What will happen to A and what will happen to B after 6 hours? Explain how the response you have stated in A, this should be A, above can be important to plants. In other words, you are explaining the importance of phototropism, which we have discussed. My name once again is Mr. Pochilola. Thank you very much for now. See you in lesson number 3 of this topic. Bye-bye for now.